Hey, Adam. So, in an M&A context, when you're buying or selling a company, one of the things that happens is the buyer sends over an invasive list of diligence questions and asks all sorts of things about the target or the selling company that they're buying. Here's an example of a typical question you might see on the employment section of that diligence checklist. And then the idea is the seller has to go and answer all these questions and try to resolve any concerns. So here, this one says that the buyer is asking for all bonus, pension, profit sharing, retirement, and other forms of deferred compensation plans, any agreements giving any person a right to receive a portion of the profits of the company. Can you just spend a few minutes explain what is it they're looking for here? Why is this important? What should a company be thinking about ahead of time?
Yeah, and Justin, I think you did a great job last week of summarizing from beginning to end the stages of a deal, and this is within the due diligence stage, following some preliminary discussions and the signing of a non-disclosure, because a request like this is going to provide the buying individual or entity with some very personal information about compensation and metrics for employees of the selling party. So the reason for this type of request is to see from the buyer's perspective what their potential obligation slash liability will be if they assume responsibility for these employees. Now, every transaction is different, right? And in some transactions, the buying entity or individual is looking to also take on the employees, in which case this is something they are going to drill down on to see, well, if we're going to take these employees on in our new organization, or at least give them the option, what is it that the employees expect to receive as a continuation from the selling entity? And if so, what are some of the logistics around making this our responsibility, which would include new onboarding paperwork potentially with the buying entity, new contracts, keeping in place, let's say, some of these responsibilities. So really just to drill down and see, what is it that they will have to take over and assume during the purchase, and taking on these new employees who expect to receive things like bonuses and profit sharing and other deferred compensation plans, and then working with legal to create the structure to begin to assume these responsibilities if the transaction does go through at closing.
So, what types of things do you think of when you hear deferred compensation plans? Like, what should a company be thinking about?
They want to look at things like 401k, or any vested, let's say, stock plans, or any form of compensation which is not paid right away. That's what really a deferred compensation plan is we want you to stay with us, and as part of you staying with us, we're going to defer or pay at a later time some portion of your compensation, i.e. through a 401k or through some type of maybe a stock plan or something like that. They're just doing their due diligence. They're looking to see, is this something they're interested in taking on? Is it onerous? Is it doable? Those are the things that the buying entity, those are the things that they're evaluating.